Preparing for the ATI TEAS exam. Before you memorize the heart, lungs, or kidneys, you first need to understand the language of anatomy. In this lesson, I will explain anatomy and physiology, the standard anatomical position, body panels, and directional terms in a simple and easy to understand way. So let's get started. First of all, welcome to the Midmind, where we make nursing and TEAS concepts simple and clear and easy to remember. Before we start learning about the human body, we first need to understand two important subjects, anatomy and physiology. These are the foundation of every anatomy and nursing courses. Okay, let's begin with anatomy. What is anatomy? Anatomy is the study of the body structure. Anatomy tells us what body parts we have, where they are located, and how they are connected. For example, where is the heart located? How many chambers does the heart have? Where are the lungs? Where are the kidneys? These are all anatomy questions because they focus on the body structure. Okay, let's take a real life example. Imagine buying a new house. Anatomy is like looking at the blueprint of the house. So it shows you where the kitchen is, where the bathrooms are, where the bedroom is. It shows the structure, but it doesn't tell you how anything works. What is physiology? Physiology is the study of how the body's parts work. Instead of asking where the heart is, physiology asks how does the heart pump blood? How do the lung bring oxygen into the body? How do the kidney filter waste? How does the stomach digest food? Okay, let's do the another real life example. Think about a car. Knowing where the engine is, that's anatomy. Understanding how the engine makes the car move, that's physiology. Easy way to remember. So just remember that anatomy equals structure. Physiology equals functions. Whenever you are confused, ask yourself, is this asking what something looks like or where it is? If yes, that's anatomy. Is this asking how it works? That's physiology. Okay, now let's learn one of the most important concepts in anatomy, the standard anatomical position. Every doctor, nurse, and healthcare professional uses this position as the reference point for describing the body. Why do we need one standard position? Imagine two doctors are talking about a patient. One say the injury is on the left side, but what if the patient is laying down or turned around? That could create confusion. To avoid that, everyone uses the same standard position. In the standard anatomical position, the person is standing upright. The head is facing forward. The eyes are looking straight ahead. The arms rest comfortably at the sides. The palms face forward, and the feet are parallel and pointing straight ahead. Like why? Why are the palms forward? Many people naturally stand with their palms facing inward, but in the anatomy, the palms always face forward. That's because it gives everyone the same reference point when describing muscles, bones, nerves, and blood vessels. Let's say let's say a doctor says the patient injury is on the inferior part of the forearm because everyone use the standard anatomical position. Every healthcare profession knows exactly where to look. Suppose you are studying the heart. A textbook says the heart is middle to the lungs. If you know the standard anatomical position, you will immediately understand what that means. Without it, anatomical terms would be confusing. Now that we understand the standard anatomical position, let's learn about the three anatomical body panels. These are imaginary flat surfaces that pass through the body. Doctors, nurses, surgeons, and radiologists use these panels every day to describe body locations, movements, and medical images like CT scans, MRI scans. Think of them as imaginary lines that divide the body into different sections. The first one is the sagittal plane. The sagittal plane divides the body into left and right portion. Imagine standing in front of the mirror and drawing a straight line from the top of your head down to your feet. That line separates the left side of your body from the right side. If the cut goes exactly through the center of the body, dividing it into two equal halves, it's called the mid-sagittal plane. For example, imagine cutting an apple straight down the middle. You would end up with the left half and the right half. That's exactly how the sagittal plane work. The second one is coronal plane. It also called as a frontal plane. This plane divides the body into front portion anterior and the back portion posterior. Instead of cutting from front to back like the sagittal plane, imagine placing a large picture frame over the front of your body. That frame separates everything in front from everything behind. For example, think about opening a wardrobe with two front doors. One door represents the front of the body and the space behind it represents the back. The third plane is transverse plane. It also called as a horizontal plane. This plane divides the body into an upper part called the superior and the lower part called inferior. Unlike the other two panels, this transverse plane runs horizontal parallel to the ground. For example, imagine slicing a birthday cake into a top layer and a bottom layer. That's exactly how the transverse plane divides the body. Our next and third topic is directional terms. So the directional terms are words used to describe the location of one body part or one body structure in relation to another. These terms are always based on the standard anatomical position that we learned earlier. Once you understand these terms, reading anatomy questions and textbooks becomes much easier for you. So let's start with superior. Superior means towards the head or towards the upper part of the body. So something that's super is usually above something else. For example, your head is superior to your neck because it's located above it, or the head is superior to the heart because it's also located above. And another example you can say like your shoulders are superior to your stomach because they are higher of your body part. The next one is inferior. Inferior is towards the feet or towards the lower part of your body. It's like the opposite of superior. For example, the stomach is inferior to the heart because it's located below the heart. Like your knees are inferior to your hip. So related to these two positions, I have a question for you guys. Is the nose superior or inferior to the nose? Write your answer in the comment section. Are you guys ready for the answer? It's superior because the nose is above the mouth. Our third position is anterior. Anterior means towards the front of the body. Think of the front of your body when you are looking in the mirror. For example, the breastbone, also called the sternum, is anterior to the heart because it's located in front of it. Or for the another example, like we can see your kneecap is on the anterior side of your leg. Our fourth position is the posterior. Posterior means towards the back of your body, and this is also like opposite of the anterior. For example, the heart is posterior to the breastbone because it sits behind it. Like your shoulder blades are located on the posterior side of your body. Okay, the next one is medial. Medial means closer to the middle of the body, also called the midline. Imagine drawing an invisible line straight down the center of your body. Anything closer to that line is middle. For example, your nose is middle to your eyes because it's closer to the center of your face. The next one is lateral. Lateral means further away from the body's midline. For example, your ears are lateral to your eyes because they are further from the center of your face. The another example, like the arms are lateral to the chest. Okay, now it's a quick question time. Which is more lateral, the thumb or your nose? The answer is the thumb is lateral because it's further away from the body's midline. Our next term is proximal. Proximal means closer to where a limb attaches to the body. Think about your arm. The shoulder is where the arm attaches. The elbow is proximal to the wrist because it's closer to the shoulder. And another example, we can say the knee is proximal to the ankle. Distal. Distal means further away from the point where a limb attaches to the body. For example, your fingers are distal to your wrist because they are further away from your shoulder. And another example, that your ankle is distal to your knee. And also the wrist is distal to the elbow. Before we finish today's lesson, let's learn two additional terms that may you see on the TEAS exam. These terms are not used as often in everyday conversation, but it's important to recognize them because they sometimes appear in anatomy questions. So the first term is cephalad, means towards the head or towards the upper part of the body. You can think of it as moving upward towards the head. For example, the shoulder are cephalad to the stomach because the shoulder are located above the stomach. Or another example, we can say the eyes are cephalic to the mouth. The second term is caudad. Caudad means towards the tail or towards the feet. In humans, this simply means moving downward towards the lower part of your body. For example, the knees are caudad to the hips because the knees are located below the hip. Like another example, the feet are caudad to the knees. Let's quickly review everything we have learned in today's lesson. First, we learned the difference between anatomy and physiology. Remember, anatomy is the study of the body's structure, what body parts are, where they are located, and how they are organized. And physiology is the study of how this body parts works and perform their functions. A simple way to remember this is anatomy equals to structure and physiology equals to functions. Next, we learned about the standard anatomical position. This is the universal reference position used by healthcare professionals around the world. In this position, the person stands upward, face towards, keeps the arms at the sides with the palms facing forward and the feet parallel and pointing straight ahead. Using one standard position helps doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professions communicate clearly and accurately. And after that, we explored the three anatomical body planes. The sagittal plane divides the body into left and right portion. The coronal or frontal plane divides the body into front and back portion. And the transverse or horizontal plane divides the body into upper and lower portions. Remember these three planes because you will see them in anatomy and medical imaging and on the TEAS exam. And then we cover the major directional terms that describe the location of the body structures. We learned that superior means towards the head, inferior means towards the feet, anterior means towards the front, posterior means toward the back. Medial means closer to the body's midline. Lateral means further from the midline. Proximal means closer to where a limb attaches to the body. Distal means further away from the point of attachment. These may seem like simple concepts, but they are the foundation of anatomy and physiology. Once you understand these basics, learning the body system like the heart, lungs, kidney, and digestive system becomes much easier. Let's see how much you remember with the quick little quiz. I will ask you 3 questions based on today's lesson. So pause the video if you need more time to think and see how many you can answer correctly. So let's get started. Question number 1. Which anatomical plane divides the body into left and right portion? The correct answer is the sagittal plane. Question number 2. If the heart is above the stomach, is it superior or inferior to the stomach? The correct answer is superior. Remember, superior always means towards the head or above another structure. Question number 3. Which directional term means closer to the body's midline? The correct answer is medial. A simple way to remember this is that medial means middle. If something is closer to the middle of the body, it's medial. So how many questions did you get right? Let me know your scores in the comment section. If this lesson helped you understand anatomy basics, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more easy to follow science lessons. Thank you.